When you think of the history of pop music, who is the biggest name that comes to your mind? For most of us, the answer is undisputed. The king of pop is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. But what about rock and roll? History's greatest legend is, of course, Elvis Presley. Now imagine these two legendary dynasties coming together, that the king of pop married the king of rock and roll's daughter. It sounds like a Hollywood script, doesn't it? But it was real. Right? It was real. In 1994, the entire world was shaken by the surprise wedding news of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. Some believed this was the love story of the century. Others argued it was a massive public relations stunt orchestrated to repair Michael's damaged image. But what really happened behind closed doors was this relationship lived in the shadow of two enormous legacies, a true love story or a tragic mistake that hurt them both. Today, we dive deep into music, history's most talked about, most controversial, and perhaps most misunderstood marriage. If you're ready, let's begin the story of Michael and Lisa Marie. Michael and Lisa Maria. Our story actually begins not in 1994, but much earlier, in 1974, in Las Vegas. While the Jackson 5 were performing at the MGM Grand, there was a special child among the audience, 7-year-old Lisa Marie Presley. Elvis's daughter met Michael, who was 10 years older than her, for the first time there. But this was only a brief encounter. Years chased each other. Both of them shouldered their own tragedies, successes, and the heavy burden of fame on their own. In late 1992, through a mutual friend, they reunited in Los Angeles. Both of them were living a life unlike any other in the world. Raised in golden cages, in the shadow of their fathers or their own fame, two people under constant media scrutiny. Lisa Marie later described this period, saying she could empathize with him, because in the world, I was one of very few people who understood what he was going through. Their phone calls began to last for hours. 1993 was the year the nightmare began for Michael Jackson. That's when child abuse allegations erupted, the world's media began to almost lynch him. Michael was going through the most difficult days of his life, struggling with began. Michael was going through the darkest days of his life, struggling with painkiller addiction. It was at this very point that Lisa Marie became his greatest supporter. Lisa always had a rescuer instinct within her. She hated the sycophants around Michael, the vampires who made money off him. She believed she could save Michael from these people, and even from himself. Years later, in an interview she gave to Oprah Winfrey, she said, "He needed me, and I felt I could help him." The person who pressured Michael to go to rehabilitation and settle the case out of court was largely Lisa. And when the calendar showed May 26, 1994, in the Dominican Republic, completely hidden from the media, with a ceremony lasting only 15 minutes, they got married. The marriage news was kept secret for weeks. Lisa's mother, Priscilla Presley, was not even aware of this marriage. Not until August, when the news broke, the media went absolutely crazy. People had difficulty believing it. The question why was on everyone's lips. A large part of the media part of it was convinced that this was a fake marriage arranged to repair Michael's damaged reputation. However, when the couple took the stage, hand in hand, at the 1994 MTV Video Music Awards, and shared that iconic, and to some strange kiss, Michael was sending the world a message. Where are those who said this wouldn't last? Although the outside world viewed their marriage with suspicion, those close to them said things were different behind closed doors. Away from the cameras, inside the house, they were truly in love with each other. They would laugh together for hours, play games, and spend time like children at Neverland. Michael's semi-nude and intimate images in the Two Are Not Alone music video were one of the clearest signs of the chemistry between them. In that famous interview they gave to Diane Sawyer in 1995, both were on the defensive. Lisa protected her husband fiercely, trying to prove their marriage was real. However, during the interview, even some tension between them could be felt. Michael's desire to have children was very strong, but Lisa wanted to wait. Lisa Marie had fears. She had previously been through a marriage and had 2 children. Michael's drug use and the people around him leading him astray drove Lisa to her wits' end. She once said, "I had seen what happened to my father, Elvis. I realized that the people around Michael were the same as those around my father. I couldn't save my father, but I could save my husband." However, things didn't go as Lisa hoped. Michael resisted Lisa's ultimatums of either me or those people. At the same time, his pressure about having children was consuming Lisa. Lisa was afraid that Michael saw her only as an incubator, and that if they divorced, he would want sole custody of the children. The cracks grew bigger, distances widened, and finally in January 1996, after a marriage that lasted only 20 months, Lisa Marie Presley filed for divorce on grounds of irreconcilable differences. Even after their divorce, their communication didn't break down completely. For years, they continued to meet in different parts of the world and talk on the phone. Lisa couldn't forget Michael, but she also couldn't manage to live with him. In 1929, when Michael Jackson's sudden and tragic death plunged the world into mourning, Lisa Marie Presley wrote heartbreaking words on her own blog. Opened up. Oh, even after their divorce, their communication never completely cut off. For years, they continued to meet in different parts of the world to talk on the phone. Lisa could never forget Michael, but she couldn't manage to live with him either. In 2009, when Michael Jackson's sudden and tragic death plunged the world into mourning, Lisa Marie Presley shared a heartfelt post on her own blog. She admitted that she knew he truly loved her, and that she suffered great pain because she couldn't save him. It was a strange twist of fate that the 2 greatest male figures in her life, her father Elvis and her ex-husband Michael, said goodbye to life with similar tragic ending. Meanwhile, in January 2023, Lisa Marie Presley also unfortunately passed away and was buried at Graceland next to her father and son. Lisa Marie Presley was also laid to rest at Graceland beside her father and her son. The marriage of Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley was crushed under the flashes of cameras and the ruthless judgment of the media, but within itself, it was an extremely real, passionate, and equally tragic story. It was the effort of 2 wounded souls to find peace in each other. So what do you think about this iconic marriage? Do you think this was just a public relations strategy, or is it a real love story crushed under the weight of fame? Share your thoughts. Was it just a PR strategy, or was it a true love story crushed under the weight of fame? Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I'll be reading all of them. If you enjoyed this documentary-style review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that little bell icon to be instantly notified of new videos. See you in the next video. Goodbye. For my trading. Whoa.